Madam Deputy Speaker, before I start, I'd like to declare that I am the head of Group Internal Audit at DBS. Madam Deputy Speaker, Budget 2025 is a critical opportunity for Singapore to chart our course ahead amid an increasingly complex environment. It is the second budget advancing forward Singapore to renew our social compact for a stronger and more united society with Prime Minister Lawrence Wong at helm. By reaffirming Singapore's resilience and unity as we celebrate SG60, Budget 2025 has outlined key strategies to uplift livelihoods, strengthen our economy, and reinforce our social fabric. As Singapore sails ahead in increasingly choppy waters, it is imperative that we remain resilient in uncertainty and find strength in unity. To this end, I wish to highlight three key themes related to Budget 2025. First, upholding fiscal prudence in a volatile world. Second, growing Singapore's economy. And third, doubling down on social resilience and safety. Madam, a key principle of Forward Singapore is about upholding fiscal prudence and responsibility. A recent OECD report commended Singapore's robust fiscal framework, which has given us the strength to navigate uncertainties more effectively than other nations. Especially for a small country like Singapore, the Ukraine situation is a stark reminder that we can only count on our own people and financial resources in times of crisis. This principle is now set against the backdrop of an external environment fraught with risk, intensified geopolitical rivalry, and evolving trade wars. Slower growth is expected in 2025 of between 1% and 3%, reflecting global headwinds and trade uncertainties. Recognizing cost of living concerns faced by Singaporeans, I welcome the additional measures to provide relief, such as enhanced CDC vouchers as part of the assurance package that continues to make our GST scheme a progressive one when viewed holistically. Taken together with the SG60 package, this is akin to a Singapore dividend where every citizen shares in our nation's success, with those who need more help receiving greater support. In FY 2024, Singapore reported a budget surplus of 6.4 billion. This was primarily attributed to an unexpected surge in corporate income tax collections, while Budget 2025 expects a surplus of 6.8 billion, driven by higher expected operating revenues, with corporate income tax the biggest driver at 32.7 billion, or an increase of 5.8% from FY 2024. Madam, with significant investments required for healthcare for an aging society and infrastructure development, we must not be complacent and cannot rely on cyclical windfalls. A basic financial planning concept is that long-run certain expenditures must be matched with equally certain revenue streams. Hong Kong's challenges in balancing its budget is due to its narrow tax base and reliance on tax collections from its cyclical real estate sector. To criticize the GST increase because of recent fiscal surpluses misses this fundamental point and takes only a limited view of the overall GST scheme. As a financial professional, the fiscal surplus, whether expected or unexpected, speaks to a prudent and conservative approach, which I believe all sensible financial experts with a heavy responsibility of a stewardship role would adopt. It is the basic value system of not spending more than one has. To me, the more important question is how will we use these surpluses to further enhance our infrastructure and capabilities for Singapore to be an even more vibrant financial center, compelling tourist destination, and flourishing metropolis. Beyond Terminal 5, there are many expected or exciting plans shared previously that can be accelerated, such as redeveloping Paya Lebar and the Jurong Innovation District, revitalizing Clarke Quay, and boosting our arts scene to achieve what London is to Europe. I look forward to PM's sharing on his insights on these aspects and would like to ask if there will be enhancements to Forward SG's plans given a global landscape that is now more complex than when it was first launched, and what is the government's thinking to realize those plans faster? On the topic of projections, the net investment returns contribution, or NIRC, is projected to rise from 24 billion in 2024 to 27.1 billion in 2025, an increase that is higher than prior year. Given prevailing global uncertainties that may slow long-term returns and the already modest GDP projections for 2025, can PM share his insights about MOF's assumptions on why this is so? Also, if indeed surpluses are expected to continue, are there opportunities to recalibrate the pace and amount of taxation to allow markets to be more efficient and to ease rent and labor cost pressures while still upholding fiscal prudence? I now turn to growing Singapore's economy. Madam, an open and vibrant economy underpins our ability to deliver on the Forward SG agenda. It enables job creation, social mobility, and sustained prosperity. Hence, I'm glad that Budget 2025 has introduced several initiatives to support businesses and enhance our financial markets. SMEs remain the backbone of our economy, contributing nearly half of GDP and employing 70% of our workforce. Beyond financial incentives, it is essential that SMEs are uplifted with the know-how in the advent of artificial intelligence and have a clearer commitment and path towards sustainability. Workers too need to adapt as world rapidly transforms. While Singapore has made strides in digital adoption, many SMEs still face resource constraints and expertise gaps. On this note, can PM provide assurance on stronger safety nets to support SME and workers who face challenges in keeping pace with technological advancements? Aligned with Forward SG's plans, how may we better ease such anxieties and increase effectiveness in upskilling? At the upcoming COS, I plan to seek clarifications if more support will be provided to SMEs to accelerate AI adoption, develop customized AI solutions, and facilitate collaborations with research institutions to pilot new innovations. On sustainability, while Singapore is committed to achieving net zero emissions by 2050, we must balance this with shifting economic and political realities. Significant changes in global trends, including the United States withdrawal from the Paris Climate Agreement and major banks pulling out of the Net Zero Banking Alliance, highlight the complexities of decarbonization commitments. While I agree with the government's directions to play our part to decarbonize, global developments are confusing. With Singapore's carbon tax slated to increase from $25, currently up to $80 by 2030, this will also increase business costs. Businesses will wonder if these costs will eventually pay off in the face of mixed signals on the world's fight against climate change. Against this shifting backdrop, can government clarify its stance on our green transition, whether there will be a recalibration to our earlier plan, pace and trajectory so that SMEs can manage the associate costs better and be incentivized to progress on their decarbonization journey? I will at COS seek additional support for businesses to do so and clarifications if revenues collected from carbon tax will be reinvested to assist SMEs in adopting decarbonization practices. In strengthening financial markets, I strongly support the government's move to revitalize the Singapore Exchange, or SGX, to further enhance our status as an international financial center. The recent MAS announcement of the 5 billion Equity Market Development Program is a welcome move. However, I strongly advocate the adoption of an ecosystem approach in this endeavor. This could include, one, plugging in specific high-growth sectors that the government is already supporting, like pharmaceuticals, biotechnology, and precision engineering. Two, encouraging Singapore-based flagship companies or companies owned by Singaporeans or new Singaporeans who are on the Forbes list to list or dual list on SGX. Thirdly, to urging family offices and high net worth individuals to list or dual list their businesses. Singapore must stay flexible to seize emerging opportunities amid volatility. The Johor-Singapore Special Economic Zone exemplifies this strategic flexibility, aiming to enhance economic resilience and deepen bilateral relationships. However, we must ensure this collaboration does not compromise Singapore's competitiveness. Learning from the experience of Hong Kong and Shenzhen, the Johor and the Singapore Special Economic Zone should complement Singapore's strengths so that it is a win-win situation for both countries. Madam, Forward SG is about strengthening our social compact and also ensuring that all Singaporeans feel secure and are cohesive. Today, threats such as scams, drug abuse, fire hazards, and radicalization pose growing risks to our communities. While our nation remains one of the safest in the world, recent trends highlight areas where more measures are necessary. Scam cases rose by over 10% to nearly 50,000 in 2024, while losses surged by 70% to more than 1.1 billion, despite stronger enforcement and technological safeguards. Particularly troubling is that over 80% of scam cases now involve self-effected transfers, highlighting how criminals exploit human psychology and AI-driven deception. Similarly, the increasing prevalence of youth engagement with harmful substances necessitates stronger mitigating strategies. In 2024, there were 126 new drug abusers under the age of 20 arrested, which is 30% more than in 2023. This is in spite of enhanced measures by our agencies. This trend is compounded by the emergence of harmful vaporizers which contain drugs. As youth are the future of Singapore, I urge the government to step up inter-agency collaborations, such as among CNB, HSA, and schools, to guide our youth towards healthier paths. Regarding community cohesion, neighborhood disputes continue to be high, with monthly noise-related feedback at over 2,100. And this number remains more than 5 times that in 2019. It is deeply concerning that some of these neighbor disputes have escalated into violence, with a few having serious outcomes. This highlights the critical need for robust resolution mechanisms. The passage of the Community Disputes Resolution Amendment Bill that has now come into law will strengthen mediation and community engagement efforts. I look forward to its early pilot and hope we can scale the measures island-wide faster so that more residents and neighbours, including those at Nee Soon, can benefit sooner. Building a safer and more cohesive Singapore is a shared responsibility, and I look forward to speaking more on these at the Committee of Supply debates. Madam, I will now conclude. Amid turbulence, Forward SG charts our path ahead, ensuring that every Singaporean has a meaningful stake in our future. As we mark SG60, Budget 2025 is a reminder of how far we have come as a nation, built on the collective determination of our people. As it is said, we cannot direct the wind, but we can adjust our sails. We can confront challenges ahead with confidence, knowing that Singapore has always found resilience in uncertainty and strength in unity. Let us remain steadfast and bold in shaping a brighter and more inclusive future. Let us move onward together for a better tomorrow.